A piecewise function is a function whose behavior depends on which piece of its domain you're on. Graphing them is straightforward as long as you're able to understand the notation. To graph a piecewise function, all we have to do is graph each equation over its specified domain. So if our function is equal to blue stuff when x is less than or equal to a, then in our graph, when x is less than or equal to a, we would graph that blue stuff. If when x is between a and b, the function is equal to some green stuff, then between a and b, we would graph the green stuff, and so on. If when x is greater than b, the function is equal to red stuff, we'd graph whatever that red stuff is. Note also how the inequalities work. In this made-up arbitrary example, when x is less than or equal to a, the function's equal to blue stuff, and that includes equality. So at that line where x is equal to a, the blue stuff is going to have a filled-in circle because equality is included. On the other hand, for the green stuff, that applies when x is greater than a. So at that same line where x is equal to a, we see that the green stuff has an open circle because for the green stuff, equality to a is not allowed. Let's try getting a hang of this with a real example. This asks us to sketch the graph of this piecewise function. Notice that its behavior changes at x equals 1. So I'll sketch an xy plane for us to graph in, and I'm going to just sketch that vertical line at x equals 1, where the behavior of the graph changes. Sketching that vertical line where the behavior changes is just going to help us sketch the graph. Now, what does this tell us about the function? Well, when x is less than or equal to 1, the function equals 2x plus 3. That's a line with a slope of 2 and a y-intercept of 3. Let's just worry about sketching that line, and then we can worry about this restriction. To sketch the line 2x plus 3, all we have to do is plot the y-intercept, which is at y equals 3, and then understanding that we have a slope of 2, we just have to go over 1 up 2, so over 1 up 2, and that gets us an additional point which we can use to sketch the line. So the line looks something like that, but then I can take another look at the piecewise function and know that this is the behavior of our function only when x is less than or equal to 1. So I'm just going to pull this line back so that it doesn't pass x equals 1. That's where the behavior of the function will change. So it's going to stop right there. And also notice we have a filled-in circle there, which is correct because equality is allowed. The function has this behavior when x is less than or equal to 1. So for the other behavior, which requires x to be greater than 1, it will start with an open circle somewhere on that vertical line. Now this is just negative x plus 2. So again, we could just forget about the restriction for now and just worry about plotting that line. Negative x plus 2 is a line with a y-intercept of 2 and a slope of negative 1. So we could go over 1, down 1, and that gives us this other point that we can use to sketch the line. And then we can say, well, we don't actually want this whole line. This is only the behavior of the function when x is greater than 1. So let's back this all the way up to when x equals 1. That's the part of the line that we need. We can erase that y-intercept that we sketched earlier, and now also we need to redraw this point because this is the behavior of the function only when x is greater than 1. So at x equals 1, we should have an open circle. And that's the graph of the piecewise function. It behaves like this when x is less than or equal to 1, and then when x is greater than 1, it behaves like that. Let's move on to a second example. This next example is a little bit harder because we have some more complicated expressions, and we also have 3 different pieces of the domain. In theory, a piecewise function could have as many different sections as needed, but when we do these examples by hand, we usually keep the number of different behaviors pretty small, 2 or 3 is pretty typical. So for this function, it's going to look like a parabola when x is less than or equal to 2. When x is between 2 and 6, we have a root function, and then just a constant when x is greater than 6. Again, I've just sketched a graph here, and I've put vertical lines at those x coordinates where the behavior changes, at x equals 2 and at x equals 6. Let's go ahead and sketch the function. Having a good understanding of parent functions and how transformations affect graphs definitely helps you here. Looking at this first part, when x is less than or equal to 2, the function's behavior is 1 minus x minus 1 squared. And at a glance, I know what this is. This is just your normal parabola, y equals x squared, except it's been shifted to the right 1 because of that minus 1 applied to the x, it's downwards facing because of this negative, and it's been shifted up 1 because of this positive 1 outside the parentheses. So typically the vertex of y equals x squared would be at the origin, but because this guy has been shifted over 1 and up 1, the vertex is actually going to be right there. And then instead of opening upwards, it's going to open downwards because it's been hit by that negative factor. So it would look something like this. Now that we've got a sketch of that expression, let's make sure that we pay attention to the domain. This is the behavior of the function only when x is less than or equal to 2. So all of this part after x equals 2, we can just erase that. And because this includes x equals 2, we're going to want a filled-in circle there at x equals 2 to indicate that. Now, when x is greater than 2 and less than or equal to 6, the function is equal to the square root of x minus 2. Hopefully you should know that square root functions look more or less like that, but because of this being x minus 2 inside the square root, this function has been shifted to the right 2 units. So it will look just like our typical square root function, except starting at x equals 2. Now, you may wonder about this point. The green part starts exactly where the blue part leaves off. So in green, should we draw an open circle or a closed circle? Ultimately, it doesn't really matter. The blue circle is already there and filled in, and all that's important is that we accurately represent that our function, the whole piecewise function, does take on a value of 2, 0. The open circles are important to show where piece has a hole, where it kind of looks like the function would take on that value, but in fact it doesn't. But in this case, the function does take on the value 2, 0. So whether that value is contributed by the blue part or the green part, that's not important. It's just important that we do have it shown there is a point at 2, 0. We also need to look at the upper bound here. The function only acts like this when x is less than or equal to 6. So we want to erase that part going past x equals 6. And because equality is allowed here, when x equals 6, the square root function is still the behavior, we can put a filled-in circle there. All right, now for the rest of this, once x is greater than 6, the function is just a constant, equal to 4, which is a horizontal line. So here at x equals 6, the last part of the function takes over. That's a horizontal line at y equals 4. So just like that, and then let's make sure that this doesn't start until x equals 6, right there. And then we'll put an open circle, because when x equals 6, the square root function is still active. It's not beautiful, but it's a pretty good sketch of the graph of this piecewise function. And that's how to sketch graphs of piecewise functions. All you have to do is sketch the individual pieces over the spots of the domain where they apply. Be careful to pay attention to where equality is allowed and where it isn't, and draw your filled in and open circles accordingly. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions, and be sure to check out my Precalculus course and Precalculus exercises playlists in the description for more. Thanks for watching.